I can do that.
All right, very good. So let's see. I want to share my screen with you guys real quick because I wanted to congratulate you all. Long & Foster was just named the top workplace in Hampton Roads. So we've done it many times in Baltimore, DC, all around. But I think this is our first accreditation for Hampton Roads. So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
So I thought that was really, really good. So happy to make that announcement. It's in the paper today. So, and then of course, I also want to remind you guys that Foster comes out today. This is the brand new productivity platform. So this is what it's going to look like. In fact, they're supposed to release it at 12 o'clock. So as we speak, this should be coming to you when next time you log into the cafe. This should be what you see. And you're just going to want to hit the little change button right here and select your region. And of course, you're going to select Hampton Roads because all of the apps associated with this are region specific. So so be on the lookout for that. I think it's going to be really exciting. I think it's going to help us stay a little more organized and systematic. So that being what it is, let's see if I can find Mr. There we go. All right, so take it away.
Thank you. Thank you.
Robert with Puffin Mechanical.
Thank you. You really have a like TV radio voice.
I've heard I got a radio face.
Yeah. Oh, well. Thank you guys for showing up. My name is Robert Hammond. I'm the owner of Puffin Mechanical. It's family owned and operated, local. And when I say family, myself, my mother, my father, my wife, my sister, my father, and my niece are all part of the team. So we're excited to provide a service that's truly family. So I'm gonna go through the slide. I'll tell you a little bit about me, a little bit about our company, and then we'll go over the program, what it means, and how you guys might be able to use it. So.
1 second. Yeah, another visitor. There we go. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
And which way do I face?
The camera is there, but you can face us, and they can still hear
Okay.
you as long as you
Okay.
put on your radio voice.
So Puffin Mechanical, that's us. Some of you may be curious about the name. I mentioned we're family owned and operated, but we took a family trip to Ireland and we had a lot of interaction with the Atlantic Puffin bird. So when we started the company, I was trying to come up with a name that was original, and my father threw out the name Puffin as in the bird. So kind of grew on us, and we ended up with the name Puffin Mechanical. Cool. Yeah, it's really cool. So what we do, we are a participating contractor for Dominion Power, and our company performs home energy assessments for Dominion customers. For an assessment, what you can expect is a customer will receive a basic no-cost energy checkup in which one of our trained technicians will install a variety of energy saving measures in your home at no cost and advise you on additional energy saving programs and opportunities. So Dominion has this program. It's all in an effort to conserve energy on the grid, which we'll get into the why. And anything that we're able to do, our technicians do on site. This is nothing that we schedule an appointment, we get more information, and then we schedule again. We go to your house. We're trained to identify the energy saving opportunities, and then we install any measures to help that right then and there on the spot. So it's a one-stop shop. It's quick, it's easy, and it's pretty much hassle-free. So why would Dominion offer the energy conservation programs that they do? So the way the current grid is set up, it's, you know, you have states like Texas and California that have a scheduled rolling blackouts, okay? You know, we're in a position to where we're trying to be proactive, so they came up with these programs to try to help, you know, make the grid stronger, pull the energy off, because we have so much growth in Hampton Roads. You know, there's stuff going up everywhere, okay? So in 2018, they introduced the Grid Transformation Security Act, which was to create the stronger, smarter grid. And what they did was they got with the governor and they proposed that Dominion Energy spend at least $870 million in different energy conservation programs over the next decade. And we're in that time frame right now. It's just not the residential program that I'm going to be discussing today. It goes into commercial lighting, multifamily condos. You know, it's pretty much across all types of building structures. Because of GTSA and the home energy assessment program was created because of that, and they put out bids to basically run the program for them. And Honeywell Solutions, just like the thermostat you have on the wall, that's the company that manages all of the conservation programs that we follow their rules and have a lot of interaction with Honeywell and Dominion from that. And what to expect during your scheduled energy assessment. We'll go through some of this, but like I said before, you know, we're changing light bulbs, upgrading them to LEDs, and for homes with electric water heaters, we're able to actually go into your crawl spaces and insulate the water pipe. So we'll talk about that. And if you have any questions, please, you don't have to wait to the end. You can just spit them out. What's also cool about the assessments, based off everything we do, the lighting, the the pipe rack, at the end, we submit all that information to Dominion Energy through Honeywell. They actually generate a homeowner's report that's personalized to your home, and it's going to give you a breakdown of what you can expect to save annually in kilowatt usage. So based off the work we do, it translates to a certain amount of savings, and then you as the customer is going to be aware of that.
When you do the assessment, all right, let's just say we have an
We keep
old,
looking around
that's
this.
fine.
this,
You can take it. You have old stuff, old units, old things, and they're not energy efficient, because we do have a lot of stuff that's not energy efficient. How is that addressed, since I only see like hot water heater, and I mean, I have a
So
gas.
good question. So there's different programs with the home energy assessment for residential, which includes single family detached homes and townhouses, not condos, not multifamily. When it comes to that, for free at no cost to you, we're able to upgrade up to 70 lights, LEDs, outdoor floodlights, recessed lighting, candle lights, 3 ways to carry it all. And then for electric water heaters to do the pipe rack. So that is completely covered by our company at no cost, no hidden fees, no nothing. We separate the other part of the program because we don't want it to feel like we've got a foot in the door, say it's free, free, free. And oh, by the way, this is going to cost you this is going to cost you that. So they have within the energy assessment program what they call the major measures, which is heat pump replacement, heat pump tune-ups. You do still get financial assistance from Dominion. It's just the assistance, it's not completely covered. So while we're there, we're going to let you know, hey, there are some other things that can be done. I want to make you aware of it, but we don't combine the two because we don't want to make it seem like we're just kind of getting our foot in the door just for the free stuff. So you can have the assessment done at no cost, and then separately have a heat pump tune-up where they might offer you $35 on a heat pump tune-up or something like that. Or if you upgrade to a higher efficiency system, they might give you a few $100 based off the size of the system there.
And if you don't do any of those upgrades, what's the implications of
Well,
it?
you're just stuck with what you had.
Gotcha. I mean,
that's-
Dominion Power doesn't go, okay, because you don't have, I mean, again, I know we don't have any rules and regulations, but
Yeah,
you
they're
know,
not
people
going
are gonna
to.
be curious about that question and say, well, you know, okay, I've got an old air conditioner, is Dominion Power gonna come back and say, well, you're using too much electricity?
No,
And
I
that's
mean,
probably a stupid question, but some people are gonna ask that.
no, I get that
question.
question. I've had questions where customers expect Dominion to go out and replace the heat pump. I mean,
Right.
they're not going to do that. I mean, I think there might be a lower income program out there where they really do offer some good assistance for that. It's just separate from this. So, but that is a good question because there are some customers that, hey, I got free lighting and free pipe wrap.
Right.
Can I get a free new water heater?
Right, you're telling me
HVAC
that this is
system?
not any
That's right.
good and this is not
Right.
great, why can't they do that? Okay, okay.
I got you.
Yeah.
And there's rebates, like the thermostat, I know there's like $50 now. So just sign up, submit your receipt.
Yeah, there are definitely some other programs.
And there's a green program coming out for, I think,
Yep.
with the IRS or with the
There is.
political about all this too. So-
Yeah, there's some stuff coming down the pipeline for sure. Honeywell also has a QA program in place. That's to keep the integrity of the program. So randomly, about 5% of the total volume of the homes we do will get randomly selected for QA. All that means is someone's going to show up in a marked Honeywell vehicle with clothing. They're just going to make sure we did our job. You know, as a participating contractor, it's free to you, but Dominion compensates us for doing it. So if I go into a home and say, hey, I changed 70 lights out, this is what the monetary value equals to, but I only did 30 lights, you know, those contractors don't need to be in the program because there's no integrity there and they're just doing it for a money grab. They don't have the best interest in mind. So they keep that program going and they keep it random just for that reason. Yes, ma'am.
The lights that you change,
Mhm.
are they the squiggly lights?
Right, so it could be the old school incandescent lights, it could be the compact fluorescents, which you're
No,
referring to.
the ones that you install.
They're the LEDs. They're LEDs.
Okay, so they're not the squiggly.
No, ma'am, no. All of our
Okay.
lights are LED. They all carry about a 13-year lifespan, assuming they're working under normal conditions. All of our lights are also dimmable. So if you have a chandelier with a small base with the candles and they work off the dimmer, they'll work off the dimmer. Outdoor floodlights, believe it or not, they work off the dimmer as well. So every light we carry is going to be dimmable. So,
And it might be the squiggly lights. What I hated about those is they took they took 20 seconds to get up to their full brightness.
and they get so hot.
And they get
Yeah,
hot, and
so
they
hot.
still get hot.
So chandeliers, if you notice the older incandescent style candles, and then they have that plastic trim piece that acts as a fake candle. If you notice, those get so hot that when we go to change those get so brittle to the touch because of the heat.
Okay,
Whereas when we put our LEDs in there, you're not heating that plastic up. So,
okay.
For me, those squiggly lights, you know, they came out, and they'll last for 10 years.
Yeah,
The ones that we installed in our house lasted about a year.
yeah.
And then after we put them in and we tried to use a regular light bulb, it would not work. We always had to put those crazy expensive.
so I'm gonna
squiggly
tell
lights
you,
in.
it's probably not the light there. A lot of times we'll come across situations where, you know, there's electrical issues, whether it's specifically to that light switch or maybe even to that fixture. Because, you know, if we're dealing with a lot, let's say we go into an older home and
It was.
we're dealing with a light fixture or wiring that may not be as compatible with the LEDs. We come across that sometimes, in which case, if that's the situation, we're not gonna leave a light in if it's flickering, or there's an issue. There's nothing wrong with the light itself. We just come across some older fixtures, that happens sometimes with our three-way light bulbs. If it's an old three-way lamp, a lot of people don't even know they have three-way lamps until we get there. Like, oh, now I have 3 different light settings. But in some older lamps, it's just not as compatible.
Interesting.
You know, we consider this a lighting upgrade as well. You know, our job is to go in there and have consistent light. Well, we want you to be happy with the light. We're not in there just swapping stuff out. If you're not happy with something, or you have a certain decorative light in there that you want over your dining room table, if you want that left in there, we'll leave it in there. It's no big deal. Some of the commonly asked questions, some of those you guys have already asked. Are they daylight, yellow? We do carry 2 different kinds. We carry more of the daylight, and then we carry the 3000 Kelvin, which is more on the yellow side, but it's not yellow. It's a nice blend. Believe it or not, I saw you had the thumbs down. Most customers prefer our 3K lights than they do what most people consider like fake look, fake looking lighting. They really don't like that. So we typically carry the 3000. We did carry the 2700 Kelvin. That's just color temperature. The lower you go, the more yellow, the higher you go, the more blue emission it's going to have in it. We have bumped up to the 3000, but we feel like it's a really good balance. It doesn't have that yellow tint, and customers really like that. But if by chance we come across a situation where a customer wants a 5K light, we do carry that, but we have those conversations on the front end. So we don't have a technician going out there unprepared. So
So what do y'all do about ceiling fans?
change out the lights.
Do you really?
Yeah. Recess lights. When you call into our company, we're going to go through a checklist of questions. We want to know, what are your highlights? Do you have any tall floods on the outside that we need to be prepared for? Some homes you walk into the foyer area, 18 feet up in the air, there's a chandelier with 48 lights up there. We'll change those.
Yeah.
But we want to know ahead of time,
Gotcha.
so we can be prepared, and maybe we send a technician that is carrying one of our tallest ladders, and then they can take care of it.
Not afraid of heights.
Not right. Yeah, that's not afraid of height. Same with the pipe wrap. Not all of our technicians are going to be comfortable going into a crawl space and insulating water pipe. That's the other benefit to this. We don't do it for homes with gas water heaters, but for homes with electric water heaters, they qualify to have all of the pipe wrap where it's accessible. We'll insulate that, and that's all going to help cool down the energy cost. So
Why don't you do it on gas water heaters?
because this is a program through Dominion. They're not using Dominion's fuel source.
I got you.
Yep.
That went right
I
over
thought
my
that at
head.
first too, then I went, oh no, it's
Yeah.
Columbia, they don't have
That's
Columbia,
right.
night of it.
And as far as the areas that we service all of Hampton Roads. This program is all throughout Virginia and as well as North Carolina. We are soon going to be moving into North Carolina. Every now and again, we'll find ourselves in Williamsburg and sometimes even Richmond. But for that, we try to get our technicians lined up to have multiple homes. We don't want to send somebody out there an hour away. You know, if we can kind of group something together, we will. But if not, we'll get them on the schedule until we can get some more loaded in that area.
Question,
Yes,
does Columbia Gas, Virginia Natural Gas have a similar program?
not to this extent that I'm aware of. I know all of them have some sort of program in place. You know, even like Doris said earlier with Dominion, you know, they have where they'll give you some rebate for using a smart thermostat. But I do know that natural gas has some programs out there.
Or they will come out and wrap my pipes?
Probably not, I'm not sure. I'm not
Who
sure.
knows?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, you said you go to all of Virginia, but you just mentioned Richmond and Williamsburg.
Well, the program is in all of Virginia. Dominion covers this program. So if you're in, yeah, if you're in Northern Virginia, and there's a participating contractor in that area that does this program, then yeah, you can have it done. You can have it done. Us, we just try to stay in Hampton Roads because this is where we're based at. It wouldn't make sense for us to drive, you know, to DC for a house.
No, I got you.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Will I get charged anything on my electric bill in the future for having the assessment done? No, nothing that I'm aware of or that they allow me to know. I just know that our service is completely at no cost to you. How Dominion works that out on their end, I'm not sure, but you guys are not getting the bill for that. And who was eligible? You cannot have already had this done at that property address. It does not follow the homeowner. If you're at a home and it gets done within the past, I believe, 6 or 7 years, it cannot be done again. Okay, you do not have to own the home. You can be a tenant. You can be a tenant, you can have a property manager, doesn't matter. If your name is on the electric bill, or if you have your own dedicated electric bill, then you can have it done. So you do not have to own a home. So single family homes, detached homes, townhouses, that's what's eligible. If you're in a condo, they do have a condominium program. It's not as extensive on some of the items that are at no cost. It's similar to the major measures I discussed earlier. You can have some heat pump stuff done. It's just financial assistance. Multifamily is the same thing. We are trying to get into some multifamily homes where we can do a lot of other things to help lower the electric. But for this program specifically, it's residential and townhouses.
So are you saying you haven't done any condos? Or have you?
I have done some condos, and also a multifamily dwelling, but we're just getting into that. Our company is set up to do it. It's just not our main focus right now, but we are getting into that.
Okay.
So you in a condo?
Yes.
Any reason why you don't focus on condos? I mean,
We're getting there. So
they're
the
like
condo,
single family.
that program just opened up. So we started this program a few years ago. The condos, you know, it's coming up, it's coming. Then it finally came through, probably within the last year, as well as the multifamily.
So if my client is in a condo, they can still call on this program.
They can still call and talk to me, or talk to someone in the office, and we do have a running list where we're probably gonna start getting to those customers in the fall,
Okay.
to go out there. It's
Okay.
just not as extensive. They have a lot of limitations as far as lighting and some of the things that we can offer as far as being completely no cost. But eventually, you know, they can get some of the other things done. There's just gonna be a cost associated with it.
So I have a question.
Yep.
The floodlight on the back of my house, the second story, is broke.
Mhm.
If you guys, would you guys replace it?
We won't replace the fixture, but we're gonna make you aware of it. You know, and a lot of that is liability reasons, if I'm being honest. You know, not all of the technicians, or really none of them are, you know, carrier journeyman's, electrical licenses or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it just, could they probably do it? Yeah.
It's got one of those motion sensor things on it, and the motion sensor thing is cracked. I don't know. My kid probably shot it with a BB gun. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's probably what happened.
That's a good chance. Mhm. Yeah, anything we come across that's broke, we make you aware of it. Because that happens sometimes too, you know, we don't get on our ladders every day and climb up to the second story floodlight. So
Right.
sometimes we make customers aware of things that they had no idea.
Right.
And that would be one of them. We've come across them before. Well, we need to let you know, hey, your floodlights, it's broken up top because
Okay.
they're open to the elements. They're gonna get grilled. It's getting rained on, humidity. So there ends up being some issues with some of the outdoor floodlights. So-
Robert, do you have a list of vendors, if you do work with vendors like electricians or whatever, that, you know?
I have
recommend
relationships
the
with some companies, for
Mhm.
sure, I
Yeah.
do. You know, I'm also part of a networking group, BNI, where we work pretty tightly with some of our trades and that stuff, so, yeah. We do offer some other services, you know, I am BPI certified as a building analyst, which allows me to do blower door testing, thermal imaging, as far as trying to identify how we can make your home more airtight. You know, whether that's in the attic, potentially crawl space encapsulation. So those are things that are just coming down the pipeline with our company that I wanted to throw in there for you guys. Again, that's pretty much the program. And as far as the benefit to maybe some realtors, you know, we feel like it could help on the buying side and on the selling side as a value add for your clients. You know, if it's something where someone just moved in and like I was telling him earlier, they just spent $300,000 moving to a home and then moving costs. It's something you can say, hey, don't worry about buying any lights. Don't worry about this. I got a company that's gonna come out. They'll do an energy assessment of your home. They'll take care of all your lights, so it's not an extra expense that you have to pay for. There's a value to that, and it's something you can offer the customers, for your clients. And then on the other side of it, you know, let's say you're gonna get pictures taken to list a house, you know, you want consistent lighting throughout. I might come in, because how many times have you been to Vanities? And you got the 5 lights above the bathroom vanity. You gotta see if your home is like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, see. See,
Only one of those
there's
damn
always-
bulbs.
there's always somebody.
That's my house.
The curly one, she's got the
Yep.
glow here, and then that's
Oh my
right.
God.
So you do it on the front end, and then we can go in there and
You
take
should do
care of the
housewarming
lighting.
gift.
That's good.
And you can add it to the report. Hey, we had a home energy assessment
I was
done.
just getting ready to say,
You
as
can
a
add it to the
selling
report.
agent, you can put that in your remarks
right.
and say, hey, we just had every one of the light bulbs in an assessment done.
That's right. So it's something you can offer them as well.
And you hope the report's gonna be good, because you're gonna have to share that report with them.
So how long does it take to schedule?
Yeah.
I was gonna list the house in 2 weeks. I mean, could you guys have this done in that time?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we have about maybe 8 technicians, but it doesn't take long to get them on the schedule.
Okay.
We're kind of all over the place. It doesn't take long to do an assessment, depends on the house and how much is involved, but we can always
Okay.
squeeze you in.
Does the assessment and the switcheroo take place at the same
Same
time?
time,
Okay.
same time. We come prepared.
What else do you, I know you said that you do several things, so what else do you do? Maybe weather stripping or something?
Yeah, so there are different parts of the program. Like I said before, they had the heat pump tune up, and I wish I had that sheet with me. It could be weather stripping. You know, in some instances, I'll shoot you straight with this. They also offer shower heads and aerators. We don't do those as part of the program. Main reason is liability issues. I was part of this program the last time they were around, and there were some contractors that, let's say, I know how to go into your home and change your shower head. Let's say I go into your home, change your shower head, but you've already had a leak in the wall for 3 months.
Mm,
So another 2 months passed. Now you need to have your bathroom replaced. All the homeowner knows is the last person doing anything in my bathroom was me. And I know daggone well, I didn't cause a leak in the wall. And then now we're on the hook, you know,
right.
for that.
Right.
So for liability reasons, I personally just don't touch that with us being, you know,
Yeah.
a small
So-
family business.
So would,
How would we know how would we know that that shower head needs to be replaced? Does it come to us, like I said, after the assessment? And if it does come after the assessment from Dominion Power, is there to say, okay, your heat pump is not up to par,
So
our
that's-
suggestion would be to have it.
That's gonna be situational. So with our technicians, when they're there, a lot of the things that they're doing with the other parts of the home is just get information. We have a sheet that will go by, you know, is it a slab or is it a crawl space? Are your windows single pane, double pane, low heat? What type of HVAC do you have? Is your stove gas or electric? A lot of that is so Dominion has a better understanding of how the energy is being used in your home. Okay, it's not necessarily, hey, your stove is 12 years old. This is what's going on. You get this done. And if I'm being honest, if it was something to that extent, we would probably be paying for that service. This is a free service that they offer. Where we're able to do some things to help lower the electric bill. It's a huge value, don't get me wrong. But, we're not gonna have a certified HVAC mechanic in your home doing this, as well as diagnosing your HVAC equipment. That's just completely separate. So they do offer duct work, upgrading duct work, doing some duct sealing, heat pump upgrades, heat pump water heaters, things like that. If that answers your question, some of the other services that they.
And when do we know that? At the assessment, or do we get something from Dominion Power after this assessment?
So the program is what it is. The information is there. We come in for the assessment and do our side of things, okay? If the customer itself is looking to have a heat pump tune-up done, and if they haven't had that done, then you should have that done. You can take advantage of the program and get the assistance towards it, which you do.
What's a heat pump?
It's just a type of, what is it?
Yeah, what's?
It's a type of system. So you might have a furnace or you might have a heat pump. So the furnace is your type of heat, and the heat pump uses refrigeration as that type of heat. And if you have that sort of system, being that it's electric and it's not gas, then you can have that service and get a small rebate.
Is it just a cleaning and routine?
Pretty much,
kind of
it's
check?
a routine checkup.
Yeah.
A lot of times it may not even involve the cleaning, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So
You just let the clients know that your unit is a little bit older or whatever.
we're just getting the information on that. And that's where I was getting at earlier. It's not up to them during that visit to make a determination to the customer,
Right.
hey, you have this going on, because they're not HVAC technicians. They really shouldn't be doing that information.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay. I got you.
So who contacts the customer after that? After your assessment, then who contacts?
So it wouldn't be anyone. So
Anybody.
if you call us to schedule an assessment, hey, I haven't had my lighting done for a number of years. I'm looking to have this done anyways. We'll go out there, we'll do the assessment, we'll take care of your lighting, identify different energy saving opportunities. It might be pipe wrapping for electrical water heaters. We're gonna do that. Thank you for your time and allowing us to do that. And we're on our way. We're not gonna charge you anything. You will get a personalized homeowner's report with a breakdown of what we've done. And then we part ways. Now, if you want other work done, then you can 100% call our company and we'll get an answer for you. We'll do the work ourselves. It's just separate from this program. Like I have to be very careful, because you guys 100% know, and especially if you're on social media, all it takes is that one person to say, oh no, they just get their foot in the door and they try to upsell me this, and this. I knew going into this program, I didn't want that crossover, so I separate the two.
But
And
the
that's reason.
report comes from your office.
If the report will be emailed to you, so the information that we gather while we're there, there's a page that we send off to Dominion. Okay, that's with your account information, just your account number, your address information, your signature, our company information is at the bottom. We sign, that gets sent off to Dominion, so they know it's really you. And then based off the information that we put in the database of the work that we did that day, let's say we did 80 feet of pipe wrap, 3/4 pipe wrap, we changed out X amount of lights, then it's going to generate that report based off the information we provided, and it will give you that personalized report with your breakdown of what you expect to see.
He's just saying that if there's other things that Dominion offers.
Right, yeah.
He
We
doesn't
wouldn't be doing
offer
our
it.
job.
He doesn't offer it, Dominion
Yeah.
offers.
We wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't make you aware of some of the other programs out there. And
So-
Dominion wants us to do that as well.
So changing your, I'm sorry.
That's all right. I was gonna ask, so by us being realtors, if we call your office and say, hey, has this house, this address, has that
Right, so here's
has
what
an
we're gonna get.
assessment?
We're gonna get the address, we're gonna get the last name on the account. And by that, we're able to pull it up on whether it's been done or not. It's gonna let us know. If it has not been done and the structure is within the program, let's say it's a townhouse, then we can go out there and do the assessment. And then that's all we can do. So when you call us, we'll check it right there on the spot, let you know whether you're eligible. Even if we don't check it on the spot, we're gonna go ahead and get you scheduled and then check it. to, you know, of course, let you know if something's, you know.
So is there a lot of energy saved by changing out all these light bulbs?
There is. You know, it's, everything helps. I mean, if you upgrade the pipe wrapping, okay, it may not be a lot, but if you have a long run that we can, you know, insulate that, you're gonna have some savings. If you ended up changing 42 lights, you know, that one light by itself, it helps, but now we're talking about the entire home. So yeah, it does add up.
Just curious.
No, it does. That's for sure.
Okay, well, my name is Doris Lee, and I'm a scheduler for Puffin. So I did this program a year ago, and then afterwards I signed up with them. But my house, I had $900, over $900 worth of free light bulbs. Back in the day, it was unlimited. So now it's a 70 cap. But I saved about $20 a month.
Wow.
$20 a month. And I have like a 27,000 square foot house.
Yeah, that's
I
very
mean,
cool.
1,000, yeah, 2,600.
2,600,
Yeah,
yeah.
2,600. But, yeah, it was easy and you could report like 10 pages to an email. They don't call you and ask you to say, they ask you questions like how many people live in a house and how many square feet you have. And then, one, you know, like, how much you should use, you know, maybe, like, natural gas. They say, oh, how you maximize, you know, you can do it online. Yeah, auto pay, whatever. So they tell you, oh, you're good job or bad job, whatever. But it's great.
It's a real thing, you know. It's good.
Anytime you get something free, I
I
don't
know,
care what
that's the
it is,
biggest
people
pushback.
are very
We were
leery.
just
That's
talking
just the
about
way
that.
it is.
That's the
I
biggest
mean,
pushback we get, and we try to drive people to our website. We tell them to go on Dominion's website. We are listed as a participating contractor. Our company information is up there. They're teamed with Honeywell Solutions. Everyone for the most part is familiar with Honeywell Solutions. So it's a real service. You know, we've been doing this quite a few years, and we've done probably close to 4,000 homes already within Hampton Roads. So
Which is good, and people look to realtors sometimes for these kind of things, and I'm actually doing a mail out with them to all my spheres, so anybody,
we
you know,
appreciate that.
may wanna think
Yeah.
about that. Because again, you know, you get something, and this is something that's big, that's free, that your clients will probably appreciate.
Mhm.
Whether they do it or not, it's something that's great to offer.
But what I do is when people call me and I make the assessment, I call them the day after and say, hey, did everything go well? And they say, yeah, no, or whatever, you know, but everybody loves it, it's free. And then they will tell their neighbors, their family, and
Yeah.
how it goes.
That
Yeah,
word
that's-
about thing.
So I
Just
want to
like the
elaborate
bugs.
on that, because that's important for us. Like you just said, you're the one that brought up the point. People think there's a catch, you know. Our biggest referral source is just word of mouth, you know. That's why we ask, you know, Doris to call back to say, hey, how was your visit with Crystal? You know, was everything okay? Everyone says, yeah, but we are gonna ask you, hey, if you know any friends, family, or neighbors that would benefit from saving some energy, we'd love to have them give us a call, because it almost seems like it has to come from somebody that's had it done, because that trust has already been
Right.
set and built. So, you know, if I go to you on the street and tell you about this program, you're like, yeah, okay. You know, no
Well, the
one's gonna
first
do
thing you
that.
think about is, okay, where's the catch?
I
And
know.
is Dominion gonna come back and go, you've used too much energy, so you
I
have
know.
to do this,
I
even
know.
though they can't do that by
Right.
law.
Right,
But that's in the back of your head.
it is.
And I'm not gonna
there's
lie,
been
when she
stuff in the
first called
past.
me with it, you could ask her, I was going, wait a minute, something
Yeah.
isn't right here.
You're getting scammed, Doris. Don't work for that company, yeah.
But I knew her well enough,
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
I knew she wouldn't find it.
So that's why it
Back
helps,
tracks.
and that's why we're going to reach back out to the customer. One, we want to truly make sure everything was good to go. It's something, if there's an issue, we take care of it. We're not going to fight with the customer. We stand by what we do, and we have no problem doing that. Our actual family, our company mission statement is to bring comfort and well-being to your home from our family to yours. And we try to stand by that. That's what we have in the office. That's the culture that we try to live by. We try to transfer that to the customers. So if there's any issues, we take care of it. But in the meantime, you know, we also ask that spread the word, talk to your neighbor, talk to a friend or family member, and just say, hey, this is a real thing. So
Do you go to Franklin, Service Franklin?
if they're Dominion. So there's
Yeah, not
some
Virginia.
spotty
Yeah.
areas
Not everybody's
throughout
Dominion.
Virginia where they may not be Dominion.
Just like Windsor is not Dominion.
Yeah.
Windsor.
As
is-
long as they're Dominion and they pull up and they're eligible, we'll get out there.
So yeah, mine is, actually, I live in Smithfield. I think I have a co-op.
Yeah.
Electricity,
They have some out there.
community,
You are
community
community
electric.
We'll
electric
be
in
moving out to
Windsor.
Smithfield.
Yeah.
And we'll be,
Yeah.
I don't know where we're gonna fall, but,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah,
yes,
so
sir.
the only information you guys need, I can do a flyer, is very basic, your name, address, cell phone number, email. If your style of home is the one, a two-story home, your square footage, you can find out if you don't know, Zillow. And then, you need a Dominion energy account number, that's it. But you don't need it right then, but when your technician goes in to do it, they just need the number, so the bill.
That's right.
That's all you need.
Yeah, and just so you guys know, doors is 100% we go through. If you have to schedule anybody, talk with anybody, this is what she does. She's great at it. She's gonna work with you, get someone on your schedule, and try to accommodate you guys the best she can. But whether it's a friend of yours, neighbor, you yourself, just go through doors
And she delivers pizza.
Yes. So I just have one quick question.
Yes.
Doesn't really pertain to this. What do you do outside of this? What does your company, Puffin Mechanical, do outside of this?
So I do heat and cooling.
Okay.
We are launching from one of those slides, a newer program where we do blower door testing, which new builders are having to have done now. They have caught up to code in the state of Virginia. So all new construction has to have what they call a blower door test, where they depressurize the home to make sure it's tight under a certain standard. So they all have to do that now. So I'm getting the blower door testing and air sealing
Interesting.
and insulation. So I am looking to hopefully get into that and get with some builders to where I can personally go out there and do the blower door testing, so they can put their house on fire. So, yes.
What are the top 3 things that we can do to save energy?
Okay, so almost 50% of your home's energy usage comes from your HVAC.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just what it is. So I will start there. Secondly is how leaky a home is. You know, a lot of these homes, it was air leakage. Okay, that's why I do the blower door testing with the thermal imaging. You know, a lot of people want to say, oh, well, I only have 10 inches of blown in insulation in my attic, so let's add more insulation. You know, a lot of times that's not the right fix. You might have a company go in there and say, you need to have it up to a certain amount of inches. I'm going to do that, and you're good to go. And technically that's correct, but there may be a bigger impact if I find that none of your can lights are sealed, none of your electrical penetrations are sealed. So a lot of times air sealing, before you even do any sort of insulation, is going to have a lot bigger impact than just getting a higher R value. So I would say look at the HVAC and then air sealing. Those are the 2 main things. Gotta be air sealing.
What is it, blower door testing?
Blower door testing.
The
picture No, I got you. Right there to the right. So depending on the size of the home, what I can do is I completely seal the home from the exterior, whatever your home's envelope is, and then I'm going to depressurize the home. So with that big fan running, I can set it up how it needs to be set up based off the size and the volume of the home, but I'm pulling air out of the house, okay? I'm pretty much simulating if there was a constant 20-mile-per-hour wind going up against your house. And then I'll use thermal imaging, and then with that, it exaggerates certain air leaks. And then I can basically go across your home and say, you know, none of this was even sealed. Or I might go in and find some stuff
Oh,
in the
you're
attic.
sucking the air out of the house, so you
Right,
can see
so
where
I'm
the air's
pulling
coming in.
through and
Okay.
I'm able to expose air leaks. And that's where I was getting at. That's going to be one of the biggest things you can do. They actually have a retrofit program, Honeywell does, that will be starting very soon, that we're already set up to do, where I'm going to be doing blower door testing and air sealing, and then finding a way to make your home a lot tighter as it is, as opposed to just only doing new construction. New construction is a lot easier, everything's open, but you've already been in your home, let's say 15 years, there are still some things we can do to air seal.
So the air goes into that machine, to that.
Yeah, it's just a fan, that's a
Fan.
front door, and it's pulling it
Oh, it
through.
goes it outside.
And depending on how many rings I open up, how much airflow I actually need based off the home's volume, then I'll make that determination, and I have numbers that I crunch. And that's the benefit to what I was saying earlier, I'm not just gonna go in and blow insulation in your house and say you're good. I'm gonna test in, I'm gonna be able to show you by numbers how leaky your air is, your home is, and then do the work, and then I'm gonna test out on the back end. And then you're gonna be able to see the difference I made, not just have guesswork involved to say, I blew in, this amount of insulation, so. Good? All right,
Alright.
the quiet guy in the back, that's right, he's
No,
popped
you
in
did
from.
did an excellent presentation.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
very
you,
nice.
thank you, okay, well, thank you
Thank
for
you
your
so
time.
much.
Sign up today. Anybody want to sign up, to get their house done?
Please get with Ms. Doris, yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Know exactly, how it's done.
Sure, I'll get mine done.
Okay. Just, fill out one of these out.
And it's- I got one. You need our Dominion Energy.
Well, I don't need it right now, just as long as the technician that's there, she's gonna fill out, or he's gonna fill out the report, and that's the only time I do that. We don't know, now to set it up.
And get with no condos, get with Doris, we'll work on that for you. But you gotta get us.
Oh.
Take care, don't you worry about it. We can get the contract.
How long you been working for this program?
So I was part of the program the last time they were around. That was 7 to 11 years ago in that 5-year time frame. But that program didn't have the values this one has. They allow us to install 9, no more than 9 compact fluorescent lights with the Pro Key. That's it. Do a water heater turn down, some aerators or some shower heads. This one is a lot more valuable in my opinion. Because you can do separate lights, and like you said before, it was originally unlimited. So we changed over 200 lights now. I mean, that's a big deal. But then they realized, okay, these guys are getting out of control with the lights. So we're going to cap it at 70, and that's what they're going to ride out for the rest of the program. So this program